Hello and welcome to another episode of, Beer Man's Noble Beer Reviews. Today I have a beer from Coppertail Brewing Company out of Tampa, Florida. You might be wondering why there's already a little bit of beer in here and this is already open. So I was planning on opening this, doing a review of it tonight, but it is Halloween. So I ended up opening it ahead of time because I didn't want to be in the middle of a review and have some trick-or-treaters come. So I opened it and drank like the first half of it ahead of time, and I figured I'd do a review on the second half of the bottle. And then I started pouring a little bit and remembered I needed to do a review of it. So anyways, this beer's from Coppertail out of Tampa, Florida. This beer's called Seasonal Relief. It is a Baltic porter, and it is brewed with Gogiberries and Elderberries. So I know what elderberries are kind of what they taste like only because I've had a couple of sour beers with elderberries. Goji berries, I really don't know what they taste like, so there's that. And like I said, this is a Baltic porter. I think it's 8.5. I don't think it's anywhere on the label. That's what I'm looking for right now. But I believe I know it's in the 8, somewhere between 8 and 9%, but I think it's 8.5 was what I looked up. So I'm gonna pour the rest of it in here. Let's see what we got. And also, I will say this is an older bottle. This is from 2015. So this was kind of, and I think it was probably like, it's really nice looking. Probably, I think it's called Seasonal Relief, meaning like it's after, after winter or after Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I think this might have been the beginning of 2015. So this is almost, at this point, it's almost 4 years old. I'm not sure. At any rate, though, this was, I would say, definitely before anyone. I mean, I knew about Angry Chair then, but they were just starting. No one cared about them. They were just doing like 4 devices. So it was definitely before like the average beer bro cared about Angry Chair or even knew about them. Cigar City was like the only major brewery in Tampa. Some of the other ones were there, but they were just starting, so they weren't really big yet. Cycle was already there, but I think at that point they were still Peg's Cantina. They weren't even Cycle yet. So, I guess, but these guys were around. A lot has changed in the Tampa beer scene since then, but it just makes me think of that for how old it is. This really, I mean, I know Baltic porters are generally like really dark in color compared to even like a regular porter. They're usually like jet black, which is interesting because they're usually really clean at the same time. They're not, I don't know, they're not super roasty or anything, which usually the darker the roast of the malt, the darker the beer will be, and the more roasty the beer will be as well. But yeah, this is like almost a jet black. I mean, that is really, really dark. It had about a half finger's worth of tan head that has since faded away because this thing was completely full. So I will say, I mean, given that this is almost 4 years old, I would expect a little bit of oxidation, which I am picking up a little bit of oxidation, but it is pretty minor. It's mainly smoky and like dark chocolate, which is pretty enticing. It's more than I was expecting from this. I wouldn't say that I'm really getting any type of berries or fruit character from it. So, let's see what it tastes like. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting a little bit of oxidation on the flavor, but it is pretty mild. It's it's actually pretty dry. It does have a good bit of dark roast to it. It is it is a little smoky, which is nice. Some dark chocolate, and I do pick up a little bit of I would say what to me is what's coming off as blueberry. So I'm assuming it's from the Gogiberries and Elderberries. I don't remember what Elderberries are. I thought I remember that they were like a blend of raspberry and blueberry or blackberry and blueberry. I can't remember. That would make sense. But I am getting like that little bit of a berry taste, but I would guess it was blueberry if it was me, but I wouldn't really know. And I also would say that if I didn't know this had berries in it at all, I don't even know that I would pick it out. I might just think it was a subtle flavor that was coming from the beer, not necessarily because there was fruit in it. I'm actually really surprised too. After all this time, it has a pretty strong hop character to it too, which I also think is kind of not really traditional for a Baltic porter. But that doesn't mean that it's making me like the beer less. Uh, but it does have an earthy hop character to it, and I honestly I don't want to say dreading. That's a bit hyperbolic, but I was really not ever looking forward to opening this. I just figured, I have some time tonight. I'm just gonna crack something that's higher in alcohol that that I've just been sitting on for a while, and I need to drink before it gets like too old, where it's definitely gonna be like going downhill. This is one of the beers that I picked out, and I will say I really wish that I had this fresh, because it's really hardly showing signs of age now, but I bet when it was fresh, it was even better. And I am honestly blown away by how good this is. It's not, and that's not saying that it's amazing, but it's just Coppertail. I don't really know anything about them, but this is just a really well done, dialed in beer. And like I said, it has this really nice, like, roasty, earthy hop bitterness, but it's not over the top at all, and it goes well with like the dark chocolate and smoke character that it has. This is really a testament to like a good darker beer that's coming out of Florida. I would say in general that isn't incredibly sweet and with like a ton of residual sugar left over. And, for being the ABV that it is, if it's 8.5, like you get the heft of it, but it definitely doesn't have an alcohol burn. You can tell it's a bigger beer, but I think the alcohol level and the body is completely appropriate for what the ABV actually is. I gotta say, I'm really surprised by this. I think it's really well done, and I'm gonna give this one a buy. I really am. I was expecting it to maybe even possibly be a drain pour, or a dump, just given how old it was. That there was weird berries in it. I didn't know anything about these guys. I just had this weird feeling about it for a long time, but now that I'm drinking it, this is a really well crafted beer, and I give them props for that. And it is. If this came out fresh and it tasted like this, I would still say it was pretty good. The fact that this is almost 4 years old and it's held up as well as it has is a testament to these guys, and I really would like to try some of their newer stuff. I don't know. I'm assuming just given all of the newer breweries there, that they're probably getting overshadowed by Angry Chair and Cycle and stuff, but I would really like to try some of their other stuff because I think this is really well made, and I'm pretty impressed, to be honest. So Yeah, this is a buy for me. I don't know. I don't know that this is a one-off. It just said 2015 vintage, so they might make it every year. I have no idea. I haven't seen it, but I don't live in Florida, so I don't know if it's around every year. But if it is, I don't know if you could find this if it actually is that old. But if they do make it every year, I would if you know someone who lives in the area, I would ask them to scoop it up. It's pretty quality. It's a pretty well made beer. So I think that's all I got in this guy. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.